Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're regular here, you know I review many photographic, audio and video related products. Well, today I'm looking at two microphones. I'm comparing two microphones. One I've owned for a long time now, which is the Sennheiser MKE600. I've actually got it mounted just out of shot up here. I'm comparing that with a microphone I've just purchased, which is the Rode NTG2, which is just there. Now, the sound you're listening to at the moment is actually coming from my DJI wireless microphone. I wanted to use this one to start the video with because I thought it was fairer, and then I'm going to cut out this one and go over to the two shotgun microphones. Now, when we're producing video content, we all work different ways as far as audio is concerned. Some of us will be using over a lav mic, which you clip to yourself. Others will be using wireless microphones like the DJI mic you just clip to your shirt, and then others will boom a microphone in, and it's just out of shot. So that's why I'm testing these two shotgun microphones to see how well these work, because these are quite a distance out of shot. I would like them boomed a bit tighter really, but I've got them boomed, as I say, just out of shot. You'll be able to see them on this camera over here, which is my Panasonic GH5. You should be able to see them there. So without further ado, let's now switch off the DJI mic and go over to the two microphones here. We'll do one at a time. Now, all three microphones are going into my Tascam Mixcast 4. That was the easiest way of getting all the sound into one unit. And that's being fed out of here into my Canon R10. So I'm hoping that feed is working, but I'm also recording the audio separately to my Tascam Mixcast 4 and my laptop. So one way or the other, I should get, pretty decent sound. So let's now cut out of a DJI mic and go over to, let's start with the Rode NTG2. Mute that one. So now the microphone you should be listening to is the Rode NTG2. That's coming in on channel 1. I've muted the other two channels, so we are only getting a sound from channel 1. Now, Rode make two versions of this, or two models. They do the NTG1 and the NTG2. Now, they're both exactly the same. They've got the same capsules, but the NTG2 is slightly longer because it takes a AA battery if you haven't got a phantom power supply available, and that is a great option. Certainly if you're using it with a DSLR camera, a mirrorless camera that doesn't supply phantom power, which obviously none of them do unless you're using an XLR adapter. But you can use these microphones with those sort of cameras. You'll need to get a 3.5mm to XLR adapter because all these microphones have got XLR input. But it does mean you can put a AA battery in the microphone to provide that 48 volt phantom power supply. And that's why I went with the NTG2. But effectively the sound quality should be the same as the NTG1, and the NTG2 is the same as the Sennheiser MKE600. They both require a 48 volt power supply. Now obviously my Tascam Mixcast 4 can provide that power supply, so that is great. That's feeding the power into the Rode. I don't need to use a AA battery. I haven't got AA batteries in either of these microphones, so that is great. So as I say, the sound you're listening to now is coming from my Rode NTG2, and obviously if I go in a bit tighter, you should hear that a little bit clearer. And it's a great way of actually getting great sound quality, is booming it in. Now I will at some point test these outdoors to see how great these microphones are at distances, but although they're shotgun microphones, to be fair, they're not really designed to have a large distance between you and the microphone. The closer you can get the microphone to you, the better the sound quality is always going to be. But the one you're listening to now is the Rode NTG2. Now I'm going to switch over to the Sennheiser MKE600. We'll see how that compares to the Rode NTG2. Now the one you're listening to is the Sennheiser MKE600. Now I've been using the MKE600 for a long time now. I've used it as my backup audio, and I've used it a lot of times in the main videos where my wireless microphone has broken down. Maybe I've forgotten to charge it up, maybe there was a problem with a cable, whatever. I've always been able to cut over to the MKE600 and still get a great video with great audio. And as I say, it's the same concept as the Rode NTG2, whereby it can take a AA battery to provide that 48 volt phantom power supply if you haven't got it available. I don't put a AA battery in because it's going into my Mixcast 4, which does provide that 48 volt power supply. I mean, if you're using, let's say for example, you're using the Panasonic GH5, which I've got over there, then you can buy the DMW XLR1 adapter that goes on the GH5, and they provide phantom power. So you can use your mirrorless cameras, depending on which make it is, and use these microphones straight into it. Or as I said earlier, you can put a AA battery in the microphone and use an XLR to 3.5mm adapter and plug that into the camera. It's the same with the Sony cameras. You can buy the Sony XLR adapters, which have got a phantom power supply. So it is certainly possible to be able to do all of that, and it is a very flexible microphone. And that's why I like using both the NTG2, which I've only just purchased, and the Sennheiser MKE600. You know, I use so much kit, I get confused and I forget all these different model numbers. But that's the Sennheiser MKE600. And I say, if I talk in a little bit closer to the microphone, as I did with the Rode, you may well find the audio quality just that little bit better. Because as I keep reiterating with every video I do about audio, the closer you can get the microphones to the actual voice, the better the sound quality is going to be. So I know with a lot of videos, they actually deliberately have a microphone in shot because it's part of the aesthetic. It's part of the actual, what you're trying to create. I try to keep microphones out of shot, apart from my wireless mic that I have clipped to my shirt. That's always in shot. I'm not worried about what people... Actually, it's quite nice to see, for people to see what I'm using, because that's what I do. I'm a review channel. I'm reviewing products. So I don't feel I need to hide the microphone that I'm using, but I do with boom mics, because I think they're just a little bit annoying if you can see a boom mic in shot. I'm pretty sure on my I'm looking at my Atomos recorder here, I'm pretty sure you can't see these two microphones. No, you can't see these two microphones in shot, and that's how many people do it. The only problem I find with that, the sound doesn't move with you as you move. So like if I'm demonstrating something over here, the sound will dip. Whereby with a wireless microphone, it doesn't, because it's tied to you, as it were. And that's the only disadvantage I find with booming a microphone in. If you're presenting straight to camera, absolutely ideal, no problem with that at all. I also find in an environment like this, maybe a boomed microphone isn't the answer for me, because this isn't a soundproofed room. This is basically, my studio is a converted shop, so it may not be the perfect environment for using boomed microphones. But there we go, that is the Sennheiser MKE600. Now let's just cut back to the Rode Wireless Go 2, so you can actually hear a comparison between the Rode Wireless Go 2 and the MKE600. So, great microphones. Let's go back to the MKE600 again, so you can hear, the differences between these microphones. I've not compared these microphones before. I've only just purchased the Rode not Wireless Go, the Rode NTG2, and this is the first time I've used it and the first time I'll be listening to it. So there we go. Now let's go back to the DJI wireless mic just to finish this video off. So there we go, that is now the DJI wireless microphone. You may well find quite a distinct difference in sound, because this microphone obviously is much closer to me and I can move around. I've got a lot of flexibility to move around, which you don't have when you're booming a microphone into you. But as I said earlier, If you're facing just straight to camera, a boomed mic is absolutely fine. So there we go. Hope you found this video useful. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so, and hit the like button if you like the content of this video. And please let me know if you want to see more videos like this. My reviews are not scientific, so you'll find this video isn't showing test charts and all the rest of it. It's not a scientific test. It's more of a practical test as to how I would use kits such as these microphones. So there we go. Thanks very much for watching. Stay tuned for more. Cheers for now. And in the description of this video, there will be links as to where you can buy this sort of kit from. So there we go. Thanks very much. Cheers for now. Bye.